Hey everyone, Joe from GBE Reviews. Today I'm going to be covering the anime Kamisama no Inai Nichiyoubi. This anime aired in 2013 and was produced by Studio Madhouse. Now normally I like their stuff quite a bit, but this one was a huge miss for me. Alright, so let's start with the good. The art in this anime is quite nice. One thing I really enjoyed was the color palette. Lots of bright oranges and purples, the colors really popped. The different worlds, especially those focused on the dead, are wonderful and unique, and they're definitely pleasing to the eye. Everything looked crisp and great. The characters are also done well, even if they're a bit trite. The unique role of the gravekeeper in the world, and how each set of people view them, makes for a pretty interesting dynamic. Another thing I have to say is the story is quite unique. Imagine if God abandoned the world, and the dead didn't die anymore, and could only die and leave the earth by getting a burial from a proper gravekeeper. Enter Ai, the 12-year-old gravekeeper who's the center of the story. She has all sorts of exploits and adventures, and meets tons of people. I will add that the final episode had a huge curveball, and I really enjoyed the ending, and it definitely brought everything together for me. Now to the bad. The story was bad and it should feel bad, minus the ending, which was way too little, way too late. The anime is broken into 12 episodes spanning 4 arcs, each has 3 episodes. The first arc was interesting because you got some good backstory into each of the main characters, some info on Ai and Hampneen, and the world. The problem was this arc probably should have extended into the second arc. Well, I don't want to go into spoilers, but I think the first arc definitely should have lasted a little bit longer, and it was way too quick in my opinion. So the second arc, in the City of the Dead, had a few high points, but I found that nothing really connected. The story felt really episodic, and the first arc didn't really flow into the second, didn't really flow into the third very well. Minus a quick letter in Arc 3, it's almost as if Arc 2 never happened. Nothing gained, nothing learned, basically just a filler. Enter Arc 3 at the Gordon Academy, which literally does nothing useful to progress the story other than Ai meeting the main character of Arc 4. There's some emotional moments, but again the characters leave Ai at the end, and it's another instance of nothing gained, nothing lost. Enter Arc 4, which was okay. I didn't see the ending coming, and it was the kind of curveball you don't see very often. I can see why it made the anime for some, but for me it was again too little too late. By episode 7, I was dying for this one to end, and the ending didn't do all that much for me to change my opinion. Also, literally the last 10 seconds of the anime took any salvation it had and completely fucked it all up. So to sum up, bad story that had separate arcs that built to nothing, and characters that learned lessons but not really about anything I cared about. One other pet peeve was that I seemed to be lost and misguided and not really sure what her mission should be. She started off wanting to save the world, but slowly realized that wasn't really her place, and I honestly lost track of what lessons she really was learning anymore. I don't know where they were going, but they definitely didn't get there. Finally, the ending was basically meaningless. God doesn't come back, the world's basically the same as it was when the anime started, and minus impacting a small handful of people, I really didn't do much. No grand adventure or huge sweeping epic story. I was generally useless and only impacted a small handful of people. Alright, so finally the main thing that we cover here, the ecchi. Even though this is an R-17 anime, there really isn't much ecchi at all. There's a couple of bath scenes in the third arc, but this anime centers around pretty young kids, so you're not really going to get much there, and I'm glad of that. I did notice that the OVA they threw in, as kind of a cash grab, did have some ecchi, but nothing to write home about. Alright, so that wraps up the anime. Overall, I think this one was a fairly large waste of time, and I suggest skipping it. All the background you've seen in this review is all you're going to need to see of the anime to see that it's really nice looking and has an interesting palette and world, but the story just completely tanked it for me. I think what frustrated me the most is how interesting this world is and how badly they wasted their 12 episodes on some nonsense, and I wish they'd done more with such a riveting concept. Well, alas, they did not. And again, that's it for me. As always, this is Joe from GBE Reviews saying, Jeanette.
Oh, please don't let me die.